What if the Bluey movie completely changes everything we thought we knew about the Healer family? Sounds wild, right? But stick with me. A brand new interview with creator Joe Brumm might have just dropped the biggest clue yet. And it's not about what he said, but what he didn't say. Here's the twist. Brumm admits he can't authentically write for young kids anymore, since his own daughters aren't little kids anymore. They're teenagers, and that tiny detail could be the key to the most radical change Bluey has ever seen. So, what if the Bluey movie isn't about childhood at all? What if it's about growing up? Honestly, I think this might be the boldest Bluey theory yet. Creator's hidden clue. When Bluey first aired, Brumm's daughters were the same ages as Bluey and Bingo, 6 and 4. The show mirrored his real family life, right down to Bandit being based on himself as a dad of young kids. Pretty wholesome stuff, but in his new TV Week interview, Brumm revealed his daughters are now 13 and 14, and he flat out admitted he doesn't feel he can authentically capture the world of preschoolers anymore. That's a huge confession. Instead, he hinted the movie would be so different in a lot of ways to anything that's been done before. Different how? That's the million-dollar question. And if you connect the dots, one answer makes more sense than any other. Bluey and Bingo are growing up. Honestly, it feels almost too obvious when you hear it. The voice actor problem. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The child voice actors who brought Bluey, Bingo, Rusty, and Mackenzie to life? They've grown up too. Their voices have changed. Of course they have. It's been 8 years since the show started. And here's the thing. Brumm has said he loves the original cast and doesn't want to lose them. But let's be real, their voices don't sound like little kids anymore. So how do you fix that? Simple. Age up the characters, make them teenagers so the same actors can keep playing them without it sounding weird. It's actually a genius move. And honestly, it would feel kind of beautiful. These kids grew up with Bluey, and now Bluey grows up with them. The teenage theory. Picture this. The Healer sisters, no longer kids making up silly games in the backyard, but teenagers navigating high school, friendships, and all the messy stuff that comes with growing up. Bluey could explore identity, pressure, and belonging. Bingo, always the thoughtful one, might evolve into a quiet but confident teenager with her own wisdom. And their dynamic as sisters, completely different. That small age gap that once felt huge, suddenly they're equals, and you know that's going to cause both friction and deeper connection. And here's the kicker. Brumm has already said he wants to work on teen animated projects. What if this isn't just a future idea? What if the Bluey movie is that project? The Big Australian Adventure. Now, let me throw another idea at you. Imagine the Healers go on a teenage high school trip. Every Aussie kid knows about those Canberra excursions, right? But instead of just Parliament House and a quick bus ride, what if it's an epic cross-country road trip? From the Queensland coast to the outback to bustling cities, Bluey, Bingo, and their friends experiencing Australia while figuring out who they are as teenagers. It's basically the perfect mix of adventure and self-discovery. And honestly, I'd watch that in a heartbeat. Complex teenage themes. And think about the stories they could tell. Bluey, as a teenager, means the movie can tackle way more complex but relatable stuff. The stress of growing up, changing friendships, even mental health challenges. And let's not forget Jean-Luc. Imagine Bluey reuniting with him as a teenager. That short and sweet childhood friendship. It could turn into first love, or maybe just the bittersweet reality of long-distance connections. Either way, fans would lose their minds. Family evolution. Of course, this would totally shift Bandit and Chili's role too. Bandit, the goofy game-playing dad, would suddenly be dealing with daughters who roll their eyes at him more than they want to play keepy-uppy. And Chili? she'd have to step into a whole new kind of support system, guiding them through stress, pressure, and independence. Even Muffin, Socks, and the cousins wouldn't be little anymore. Muffin as a teenager? Now that's chaos I want to see. So maybe Brumm's big, different direction isn't really that mysterious. Maybe the answer is staring us right in the face. Bluey isn't staying a child forever. She's growing up, just like Brumm's daughters, just like the voice actors, just like us. But here's the question. Do you want to see Bluey and Bingo as teenagers, or should the show always stay focused on childhood? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you want more, go watch my video on Bluey's lost episodes. It's got twists you won't believe.